Welcome to the Film Garage 208 podcast. My name is Sarah and this is Daniel.
Hello.
Hello. Today we have with us another photographer who has Risen Wildflower Photography by Jessie Rae.
Yes.
So this is Jessie Rae.
Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
So tell us about what you do.
Okay. So I'm a photographer, but my main, I guess you could say, is it niche or niche? I don't know. Niche?
I really don't know.
See, I always say niche, but that's probably because I'm Texan. So
I think you can say however you
what would
want.
I say? Niche.
I say niche.
I think I say niche.
niche. See, some people say
But-
niche, but I say niche.
I've heard both for sure.
We'll do a poll.
Poll.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Which is correct.
Yes. So I'm gonna say niche, but my
Okay.
niche is gonna be Western lifestyle.
Okay.
So I focus more on horses, stuff like that. I do
Like
a lot
taking
of-
pictures of
Like
horses?
very-
yes.
like
So
humans and horses or
Yeah,
just horses.
Like rodeo stuff or like
I am trying to get into rodeo stuff. I haven't dabbled much in that, but
Cool.
that's definitely something that's on my to-do list.
Yeah.
so people who just own horses want pictures of
Yeah,
them.
stuff
Do you
like
do people with their horses?
yes, that's kind of the main thing.
All
I've
the
done a lot
above.
of senior pictures.
Okay.
That's
of,
cool.
rodeo girls. I've done rodeo queen, teen queen.
This is a market around
But it's
here.
not just horses, it's just Western.
Yeah, Western
Yeah.
lifestyle. So
Mhm.
I would like to work with I feel like I'm saying them a little bit.
All I'm thinking of is the Barbie movie right now.
The Barbie. Western
Cannons,
businesses,
horses, yeah.
like leather companies.
Okay.
Cool.
Anything like you would consider
Just Western.
Western.
That's really cool. That's
Gotcha.
definitely a huge sector in the market. is
Yeah.
Western stuff.
I've noticed that when I've worked with people, they're like, yeah, we don't really have anyone out here focused on that.
Yeah.
So
What
I'm like,
got you into that?
Yeah.
So when we moved here in May, I kind of told my husband, I was like, I really want to either work with horses or pick up my camera again. And I was talking with my best friend Emily, and she just moved back to Florida. Here, but
Crying.
yeah, I know, I was crying.
Right after you moved here.
Pretty much, yeah. I met her in Texas, and then I
Mhm.
moved, and then now
Separate
she just
ways.
moved. Yeah,
Mhm.
so we're on opposite ends, but good vacation spots, right?
Yeah.
So, she was just telling me you should really do the photography thing. You should go for it.
So you had already been doing it before.
I had done a little bit of it when I was in high school. I did media technology.
Mhm.
That was my main focus. So I took a photography class,
Yeah.
but I was more so I want to do video. That's kind of where I was at.
But it's still the same sector of
yeah, I think they
things.
kind of go
Yeah.
hand in hand
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. But that's kind of where
You learned how to use a camera.
yeah, that's where most of my background is
Mhm.
from camera stuff.
Would you kind of play around as a teen with your camera? With
We-
friends and stuff or not?
Yeah, we did a lot of cool stuff in high school. We did a I don't even know what you would call it. I guess a reality type show thing, game show.
Okay.
But it was all the kids in media technology. We all did it.
Fun.
So I don't even
That's
know where that video
fun.
is at, but
What years were you in high school?
so I graduated in 2014.
Okay. So we're close.
Yeah.
We're close then. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm
And back then, I graduated in 2012, and my school had a media production thing, and
Yeah.
it just is thinking about what it is now. It was so different.
what it could be,
It was so
I know.
different.
literally.
I know.
Yeah.
It's I've learned so much, but then things have changed.
So was that
Mhm.
weird for you picking back up a camera after some time and kind of adjusting, or did it feel comfortable still?
I mean, it was still comfortable because it was something I really enjoyed. But yeah, it was definitely different, especially just kind of being more focused on stills instead of video.
Yeah. No, it's
Mhm.
really cool.
Isn't it weird? It's hard to go back and forth a little bit, the mindset of filming videos and taking photos sometimes.
Yeah, it is
Mhm.
definitely. It's
Which do you do more of?
I do more photos
Yeah.
right now. I definitely wouldn't mind doing some video stuff. I just haven't done it.
Sure.
Mhm.
But
'Cause that'd be cool stuff with the Western style too.
yeah, I'm definitely open to working with anybody who wants to do something.
Yeah. That's really cool. Okay, so you moved here.
Mhm.
You said you only moved here in May.
Yeah, I just moved here in May.
So what?
Where in Texas?
I'm from Dallas-Fort Worth area, but
Okay.
most of my family is more on the Fort Worth side, so where the West begins.
Okay. Okay.
And then you said your husband got a job up here, and that's why you guys moved?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Had you ever been up here before?
No.
So it was just your first time?
Yeah, I was just
Let's
coming.
go.
Yeah, threw everything in a U-Haul and came up here, and I was like, let's go on an adventure. Let's start over. So
That's so funny.
yeah.
And so you came here and you were like, I'm just going to do photography as my business.
Yeah, it was just kind of like I was thinking like I would work at a stables or something just to get my hands on some horses. But then I kind of was like, you know what? I started driving and there's just
So you were
horses
already
everywhere.
a horse girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just never had my own horse.
You wanted one. It
Yeah,
was
always
dream.
like I will be involved with all the horses.
Yes. And I like watch all the horse shows and stuff like that.
We're telling all of our secrets.
You have to explain the equestrian jumping to me because we were watching
Oh,
it this
gosh.
last Olympics and I just don't understand.
I don't really know a lot about it, to be
I
honest
just
with
don't
you.
get it. Like when
It's
people
kind
would
of like-
clap, like someone did a really good job or the horse did. I don't know who you clap. I don't know who they're clapping for.
I would clap for the
Both
horse.
horse?
But yeah. They're doing all the
Good
work.
job.
I'm like, I don't know
horsey.
what changed from that one, but they clapped a lot more. He just jumped. I don't know. I don't get it. But
Yeah, I have never really been in that side
Yeah.
of the world. Mostly just like, I used to herd cattle with my grandpa in West Texas and stuff like that. So
Okay.
Western lifestyle is kind of
Yeah, you have experience.
Yeah, it's been kind of in my blood for a long time. So that's kind of where I was like, okay, this is a good mesh of everything I like to do.
so I'm sure you were happy then when you kind of saw the area here since you're trying to do
I
Western.
was
You were like,
ecstatic.
That's true.
Yeah.
I-
You're not disappointed.
Yeah.
I was not at all. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a dream come true. And most people were probably like, oh my gosh, like this is out. in the
Is it a more
middle.
city area where you were? I've
Yes.
never
So
been over
Dallas
there.
is big, right?
Dallas is huge. So I actually went to school in the middle of DFW in Grand Prairie. So
Okay.
like 30 minutes is Swayze Fort Worth, 30 minutes that way is Dallas. And
Okay.
You go up and there's Frisco and Denton. So very city,
It's very city,
very,
like
very
high
safe suburban.
buildings.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
very suburban area.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, so yeah, this is much more like quiet lifestyle.
Yeah, this is why
Oh, I bet the food is way worse here though.
Literally.
I don't know.
Dallas
I
probably
cook-
really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
cook my own food for
Okay.
the most part. Because we did try a good place in Driggs the other day though, after a shoot.
Driggs?
Yeah, and there was like a Mexican restaurant there. It was really good.
I was gonna say just
That
being
could be
closer to
good.
the border, you probably just had so many much better restaurants and like
Yeah.
There's so much like authentic
Yeah.
Mexican food.
That's
down
my
here.
favorite.
It's my
Lucky.
So that's
Yeah.
like I'm jealous of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you moved here.
Mhm.
What was your first step? Was starting a business?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, I need a name. I need to have a
a good
name,
start.
you know,
Mhm.
something
Yeah.
that represents me. And I would bounce ideas off with my friend Emily.
Mhm.
And she's like, I don't know what it is, but, you know, I just keep like wildflower keeps coming in my head. And
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, that's so interesting because when I was in high school, I'd always be like, yeah, I'm a wildflower. And I was like, oh, okay, this actually probably really,
like perfect.
Yeah, it's like-
done. We decided.
yeah, that's definitely the start. So we played around with it. And then I was like, you know what? I just like the word risen because it's just kind of like no matter where you're at, like you can just rise again
Sure.
and start over. And
Yeah,
that's kind of
literally you're moving to a
I
new place.
literally did that. And so I was like, yeah, we'll just do Risen Wildflower. And
Yeah.
I'll put my name by Jessie Rae. So,
Yeah.
so I started with the name and then I
and
reached,
you were excited that no one took the name.
yeah, I
You're
was
like,
like,
oh thank God.
I think it was pretty original. So I wasn't too worried about it. But then again, you always never know.
You never
Uh-huh.
know.
Yeah.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just kind of reached out. I joined when I moved here. I joined a lot of Facebook groups just to
Okay.
get into the know of
What type of Facebook groups?
mom groups.
Mom groups.
Yeah, mom groups were kind of where I started most like advertising. Like, hey, does anybody have a horse? Or want to do like pictures or
Okay.
want to let me come out and build a portfolio? And so I
Nice.
started out with that.
Cool.
And then I also joined like Life in Idaho Falls, stuff like that. But I didn't really post too much in that because like I think in a mom group you kind of connect on a different level and there's a little bit different support there.
Sure.
So I see.
Yeah, no, that's really cool because it's like moving to a new place and then starting a business nonetheless. Like you don't know anyone, the town, like it's just kind of hard.
Yeah, it was a little difficult.
Yeah.
But not impossible.
I guess we're still in the early stages, like you said.
Yeah, I'm
May.
still-
So we're
Yeah, so I
5
really,
months.
yeah, really, we moved mid-May, and
Yeah.
then I picked up my camera in June
yeah.
after I kind of like was like, all right, yeah, this is something to do. We would drive around, and I would take pictures of like
Mhm.
beautiful scenery and stuff. I was like, every time I'd see a horse, I'd be like, dude, I could get some really good pictures. But I don't want to just walk up to people's fields and be like, you know. So I was like, I'll just reach out to some people and just
Yeah.
start from there, and then maybe
Sure.
build some connections. So
Yeah. And
that's
so that
how-
worked then.
Yeah, actually, it
Okay.
did. I got several people who were interested in me, and I was like, yeah,
Is
absolutely.
it on my leg?
I think it flew
It is.
away.
It's like right in the front.
He literally
He
killed like
flew away.
15 flies in here yesterday.
Really?
It's crazy.
Are you the fly
Disgusting.
buster?
I
Well,
am
there
now.
was like an event in here this weekend and the garage door was open and it was so hot all of a sudden and they just swarmed in here.
It did get warm.
It was so hot. Okay.
Wait, what's hot for y'all? Because
80. It was like 85.
Yeah. You're like, it's cold.
I was like, that's the perfect weather.
yeah, you're still Texas
Yeah.
weather here.
We visited, was it not this last weekend, but the weekend before? And as soon as we got off the plane, I was like,
To Texas. Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's so humid.
So it's humid there. I
It's
was gonna
very
ask if it was
humid.
dry. It's
Like
humid.
actually, my hair will stay in curls when I hear it just falls.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Okay, so you did the Facebook groups.
Yes, that's kind of how I
What
started.
was the next step? What else have you been doing?
Collaborations are big.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So what have you been doing with that?
so I kind of started doing their content shoots are really big here, which
Mhm.
is not something that I've really noticed like from where I was from. Like,
Same.
so which is really cool because it's kind of like builds a community here,
Mm-hmm.
which I really enjoyed. So I met a lot of people through I don't always just do like photography is my main focus, but I would do model for other photographers like if they're looking
Sure.
for certain things,
Yeah.
and it's kind of in what I'm doing. So
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I do that, but that kind of helped me build some connections here. And then I was like, oh, content shoots, how cool. Well, one of my goals as like a photographer here was to work with nonprofit organizations and to kind
Okay.
of like, I feel like when you're a person who creates content, I think that you can make a big difference
Totally.
Mhm.
for
sure.
for certain things and
Yeah.
help bring light to things. And so I love animals. So
Mm-hmm.
I worked with Snake River Animal Shelter. I've
Nice.
done a couple of things for them, and I'm going to continue doing.
Cool.
things
What
for
have you
them.
done for them?
So we did it was like a party
Oh.
scene shoot for like the dogs. And
Okay.
so I like reached out to a couple businesses. We had like a cake made, and
Oh, I
I
love
went to
it.
Splash and got some special treats for the dogs. And
Uh-huh.
we got Fiesta Balloon in Idaho.
Mhm.
They're
Okay.
like small local. They do balloons and stuff, and so they did a balloon arch, and it
Okay.
was super cute and super fun.
Uh-huh.
And so we just kind of highlighted some of the pets that needed to be adopted
Sure.
and stuff. So
Mhm.
that's kind of some stuff that I do. I'm also working with the Mustang Recovery Challenge. We're
Huh.
doing a fundraiser for them. We're doing little pony unicorn shoots.
Cute.
Just kind of help.
Oh
raise
my
money.
God, that's cute.
Yeah.
Put like tutus or bows on.
Yeah,
Or
so
something.
like it like has like a little flower like
Yeah.
and, like this little it's so cute.
That'd be really
Yeah,
cute.
so we're doing that this weekend actually, and then so that's gonna help raise some money for the Mustang Recovery Challenge.
Sure.
Which is if you don't know what that is about, it's a organization that helps people like with recovery, like addictions and stuff like that, and they use horses to help.
Like
Like,
training
as
them,
like
feeding
their-
them
Yeah,
and
they
stuff
like
that.
the interaction with the horses to help them like
Cool.
focus on some stuff because from what I noticed, like a horse can be a mirror into your soul, and
Interesting.
so like you can kind of like learn more about yourself when you work with horses, which is kind of interesting
Because like with your own like temperament and like how you are like
Mhm.
literally.
yeah, they
Mhm.
respond to.
Mm-hmm.
They can literally hear your heartbeat from like
Interesting.
100 feet away or something like that.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
so they can feel like they sense your energy, like their aura is just something else. Like it's what
Yeah.
draws me to them probably.
You just really like horses. So that's kind of hard because then horses themselves can't pay the bills. The owners. So what have been like your marketing ideas for just getting more like Western style shoots?
Yeah, I just reach out to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just be like, hey, or like post like, does anybody have a horse that wants to get some pictures done? And then usually after a few people have seen some of my photos, they've reached out and they're like, I really love the work that you did
Mhm.
with so and so. I would love, to work with you. And
For sure.
I'm like, that's like the biggest compliment as a
Mhm.
photographer.
Yeah.
Like, oh, someone's responding to your creative
Yeah.
stuff. So
Totally.
Do you do you have business cards that you pass out?
yeah, I do have some business cards. I just had those made like 1 month ago, but yeah, we definitely did some business cards with QR codes, stuff like that to try to
And
keep it.
you have your
modern.
website, right?
Yeah, I do have a website, risenwildflower.com.
Mm-hmm.
Do you normally try to get people to like call you, or what do you prefer when people like try to book with you? Do you have a booking system?
Yeah, I do. I do have a schedule system. It's
Yeah.
through my website, or if they message me, I can send them a link to like book.
Yeah.
but I mean, mostly I've just been like kind of like word of mouth, just talking to people and be like, all right, yeah, I've got you down, and then I'll mark my calendar or my schedule.
Sure.
And
So with that, like pricing can be really hard. How do you price yourself?
So that was really tough starting out. I finally feel like I'm getting to where I'm comfortable.
Yeah.
I think just with the experience and stuff that I've had, because working with horses is different than just working with people.
Yeah.
They're
bet.
almost like toddlers, like especially the younger horses. They just kind of, they're moving all the time, and
That's
you
so
want to get
funny.
their attention and like try to get them in their majestic feel, but they're either like moving their nose, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
just something.
but I've gotten to the point where I'm really comfortable working with it. So I price kind of based off what I want to do the most. So like I kind of give price breaks for my horse sessions, just because, not really to be competitive in the area, but just because I want people to know like that's the work I want to do.
Like you want to do this.
Yeah, this is what, like I don't like leave a shoot and be like, oh my gosh, it's all about the money.
Mhm.
Whenever I work with horses or I work with people and I get to witness like their bond, I'm like, I just get so much joy, and I feel like that's a payment in itself. And I'm just like, this is kind of where like, this is what I want to keep doing, this type of work.
Sure.
So
Sure.
Which is like this where you have to be at the beginning too, where you like just need to build the portfolio and show people what you can do.
Yep.
Like
Eager
you just
and
have to do that, and like eventually your rates will go up. But like,
so I probably will always keep the price break for those sessions, even when my prices go up, just because like it just gives me such a joy, and it's something that I love to do so much. I just feel like if you love what you're doing, the money is great, but it's not always all about the money.
you need to go pass out cards at like a rodeo when it's here,
Yeah,
part of the Blackfoot Rodeo or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to get into some more rodeo shooting to, update some of my camera equipment for that.
Is that only certain times of year, rodeos?
Yeah,
Right,
mostly
like-
like summer, a little bit.
Right? I
Before
feel like
it kind of ends in fall. I feel
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
So that would
Spring,
be so is there like shifts in your business? I guess it's your first
It's
first
my
summer.
first, yeah.
So I was gonna say you haven't experienced a winter here yet.
I
Hopefully
have
it's a
not.
good winter.
I'm kind of excited. We don't have snow. We have ice in Texas, so to experience.
My aunt has a horse
Just
ranch
you wait.
in Washington.
Yeah.
And they do like barrel racing. And it's a pretty big place, and they have like hundreds of trailers will come in and tons of horses. But I know those people go to like different tournaments like all around, like at their season. You could just like follow
Go to every
that
tournament,
around the
like a
Northwest
summer.
and just like make all your money in the summer.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to
know
do
how
some
the
more
season
like
is, but-
traveling and stuff, and like work with in other states surrounding us, and then maybe just kind of like spread across the United States. That's kind of my goal.
Yeah. So you were saying like just Western in general.
Yeah, just Western in general. So like Western like you got like Western style, like we can do.
What about like
Western style shoots.
business Western?
Yeah.
Like businesses around here that are in like the more
Yes, I'm hoping to work with some like leather companies, or some farriers, stuff like that.
There's
just
totally
because-
got to be people around here.
I
it's
just
like-
have not made those connections yet, but I know they'll come.
So when you work with the horses, do you use lighting?
So I usually work out in the sun and use
Okay.
sunlight.
So you don't have to worry about it like scaring the horse or anything.
Yeah, that's my fear. I haven't tried flash.
Really?
Because I
I'd be afraid
I
of
don't
that.
know. Sometimes some horses don't respond well to certain
That
things.
makes sense.
So I try to keep everything
Yeah.
really calm. But usually, like my sunlight photos have still come out really great, and their coloring and their coat is just phenomenal. So
Yeah, I'm sure that's what I was just thinking. It'd be scary using a flash with the horse and like
it's like I
make them
would
start
love to
kicking or like.
try. I would love to try it, but I'm like, I don't know. You just never know how they're gonna respond, and I don't want them to like throw their owner or something.
Are horses generally the same when you work with them, or like is there like a scary horse though? Like,
I'm
it's, like, hard
not
to
really
break.
scared of horses,
No.
so
You've just been with them enough. You just know how to deal with them.
I've been around them enough. I'm really comfortable. I mean, like my shoot on, was it Saturday night? I was doing one with 2 horses, and I was doing one with twins, and so I was having one twin with one horse, and like this other horse was like kind of like in where I wanted to like stand, and I'm like, hey bud, and I'm like tapping his butt. I'm like, I'm right here, and I'm like, don't kick me, and I'm like sitting down squatting behind on a horse, like
Like,
You're
I should
brave.
not be doing
Yeah,
this.
Yeah.
probably. But people are probably like, but I'm comfortable. You're
She
gonna
just has a
knock me
football
out.
helmet on when she's taking pictures.
Go ahead and like just knock me out. Give me a horseshoe. It's fine.
So yeah, I was gonna say, how do you leverage social media? Because that would be a funny clickbait if you're taking or if you're wearing a helmet during these photo shoots.
That's actually a good idea for a reel.
Right.
No, it's like a great idea.
Until she gets kicked.
No,
That's why she has a helmet on.
So she gets like kicked in the arm or something.
yeah, no, I'm probably way too comfortable around animals or big animals, but I think that they can sense fear and like
Yeah.
anxiety and anxiousness. So like the calmer I am, I just feel like they just don't really. They're just like, it's
Yeah,
fine.
I've never bonded with horses. I've ridden a horse once in Mexico,
Oh, fun.
and I'm pretty sure it was like pretty much bareback
Yeah.
on the beach.
Oh,
And he was wild, and I think he was trying to like hump all the other horses. So I was trying to like stay away. So it was not an enjoyable ride on the beach.
okay.
So that's my one experience.
That's hilarious.
So how do you deal with humping horses? Has that happened to you during a shoot? It's just like
That's not happened.
it hasn't.
That's good.
No?
Great.
No, that's actually really hilarious. But I mean, I'm sure people
Do we wait this out or do we like
breeding and
break
stuff like that. So.
Well, on this same little
breeding
journey,
photos?
there was this mom and daughter that did this morning adventure with us, and they were like horse people, and they were like totally dressed up and like taking this really seriously. Well, I'm like, I've never been on a horse before. So they're like, I'm going to go walk the horse over into the water.
Mm-hmm.
The horse immediately flops down and like threw them all off the horse.
Oh, like in the water?
In the
or-
water.
Oh.
He just wanted to lay down.
He was like, oh, I'm just going to go
So
for
it
a
was just kind of
swim.
funny because it was just like, it was just funny.
Oh, man, that's like,
Just because they were being like know-it-alls
Just 'cause they
about
were
it,
just
like
such
I'm gonna take my
know-it-alls.
horse over
And then they
here.
walked into the
Yeah.
water and got
It's like,
their
of course.
that's always my fear. Whatever, like where I'm doing a session, I'm like, usually their horse all clean and brushed out, and that's right when they want to roll. So I'm like, let's just keep them busy.
No, those are factors that like I'm not qualified
And so I
for
kind of like,
that.
as the more I do it, the more experience I'm getting, the kind of more I'm realizing like my worth and what I should charge
Totally.
for certain sessions and stuff. So
Totally.
definitely getting more comfortable with that. I
Mhm.
think as time goes on, like
And you're learning the area still too.
Yeah.
And that's like a big part of
That's
figuring out your
huge.
price.
yeah, it definitely takes to know like the people and like circumstances in the area.
So that's
Mhm.
good that you've talked to like the content creating groups, since that kind of gets you
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
little areas, because it can be kind of hard. I think around here, I've seen some discussions on the Facebook groups. You've probably seen it if you're on the groups too, where it's about like sharing locations and people. Like, I get it.
They don't want to share
Yeah.
like their spots.
Mhm.
That's a hard part about moving to a new place. I remember when we left Hawaii, I was so bummed because it was just like
We
I
finally
worked
knew
so
all these
hard. I had
spots.
so many good spots. And we moved here and I was like, I don't know where to go.
Because it's like,
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
kind of how I felt when I started. I was like,
yeah.
where all right, well, like I'll just, especially with horses, because some places, you know, like
Middle of
I mean,
nowhere.
you need space and
Yeah.
like,
I definitely have to use space. And so working with a lot of the people that I did like pro bono work through like Facebook and stuff, I learned a lot of locations, learned some spots.
Sure.
And then
That's just how it.
you just have to
Yeah.
start out that way.
yeah.
But
Mhm. Yep.
I've met some awesome photographers here who have been super supportive, who I would consider friends, you know.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of just goes with like working in collaboration, like meeting your people.
Mhm.
And so I was not scared to just like reach out and ask somebody like, hey, you know, do you have a spot? Like, this is kind of what I'm working on. Like, do you know any good spots?
Sure.
And usually like the photographers I work with are like, oh yeah, this spot's perfect, or
Yeah.
this and that, you know, because I mean, we don't own the spots, you know. It's
Yeah.
just kind of like,
It's just.
if you know, you
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
And they never bring a horse to a location. You go to them.
Yeah.
Always. Like,
Yeah, and
Right?
normally, yeah, like some people, we did some at the sand dunes in St.
Oh, really?
Anthony. I did some
Cool.
on Sunday, and those look so good. I can't wait to finish. editing
Wow.
those.
Like bringing the horse to the sand.
yeah, so they actually have like a
Wow.
horse trailer spot and everything you can pull up.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'll definitely could. Do
I've
some
been
more work
wanting
there.
to go there. It's like on our list of to
Dude,
go.
you need to
but
go.
I want to
It's
go before it
gorgeous.
gets like gross weather.
You should go this weekend if you have time.
Maybe we should.
It's super pretty out there. It's windy. You're gonna get sand blown everywhere, but
Does it hurt?
I mean,
sand.
I was like shaking sand at me everywhere on Sunday night.
There's
Were you
like
worried about your camera?
I was a
yeah,
little worried, but you know, I have a filter on top of my
like
yeah.
lens.
Yeah, just to help with like sunlight pictures, but also just to protect. I'm around big animals and stuff, so
Right, like hay and little dust.
Just
and
like
stuff
even just like a
that.
knock, like a little knock from a horse is like a hit.
yeah.
I'm sure to a camera.
I mean, there's been times where like I've been like petting a horse and they just like throw their head up. And,
Oh no.
And I'm like, ugh,
oh gosh.
but no, it's fine. My camera's
She
still
survived.
You have insurance. Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
She's like, don't say it out loud. Okay, so I want to jump back even further. So like
Okay, yeah.
before you moved here, what were you doing to make you want to like open your own business?
So in 2019, 2020, like kind of when COVID hit,
Mhm.
I started a t-shirt company. I just did like, I made,
This was in Texas.
yeah, this is in Texas. In
Okay.
Prairie. So I did a t-shirt company. I was making shirts. That was kind of like my thing. And then that's when I also
Like
bought-
what
that's
type?
Just like fun t-shirts. Like it was just like a,
Like screen printing shirts or
yeah, I was
embroidery?
doing like DTF printing.
Did you have your own like machine and setup? and all that?
Yeah, I was like pressing all of my own stuff. And,
Interesting,
and,
okay.
like I was kind of even modeling my own stuff. So it was like real entrepreneurship.
So that's your own
Yeah.
business. That's a whole
Yeah.
thing. That's a
Yeah.
It was a
business
whole
itself.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, so why did we stop that?
Life got kind of crazy.
Yeah,
And that's when I bought my camera too, around that time.
interesting. Okay.
And so I did a lot of like portraits and stuff, but it just like from the way that I felt when I was in media technology doing videos and stuff, like
Mhm.
I had like that burning passion, you know, and like that joy out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But like just doing regular family photos, I was just like,
Meh.
and then we got here and I was like, it's literally horse country, like and this is perfect.
Uh-huh.
So and like I felt that fire again, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah, this is definitely what
Yeah.
I need to do. So
So you're already an entrepreneur doing
yeah.
like your shirt business. So were you
Yeah.
selling online or how was that?
Yeah, I was just doing like Facebook group and like online.
Cool.
Yeah. It was
Okay.
good. Yeah.
So were you like designing things?
I did a little bit. I dabbled in some of that, but mostly just like using other like screen prints from
Okay.
other screen print companies and
Sure.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I have a lot of experience in a lot of different things. So
Yeah.
Are you glad that you're not doing that anymore?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really love what I'm doing. I like to be on the more creative side. I think that's where I thrive the most
Mhm.
is just seeing some of my ideas and like content like come to life.
Yeah. I'm sure if you were doing your own designs, it could have been a little bit more like fun. But
Yeah.
Like your
then-
brand.
I mean, I still
That's just a
love
lot
it.
of
Like
work,
I
though,
know
to
how
do
to
that.
do it, and
Mhm.
I've thought about like maybe doing like
Or,
a
like,
Risen
just
Wildflower
doing,
brand or
like-
something. But you know,
like for
we'll
like
see.
little
Or f-
people like us, I'm like just like small people to be
Yeah.
like, I'll make your
Mhm.
like, you know, branded.
Yeah, but there's
So-
also a really good a lady here in town that I've connected with, and
Mhm.
she's really really good. And so
There's
I've
a
used her
ton
for
of
some-
people in
Yeah.
town.
there-
We should
yeah.
get a horse in
tons of
here on the wall for pictures.
Oh my gosh, I have a model. in
It'd
front
be
of it.
like,
We've got a car in here before, so we should do it with the.
well, it's like the Beyonce photo.
Yeah.
That
See,
was
like,
like Miley
oh my
Cyrus's
God.
It would be
horse.
so like you're talking
should
about like a real
reshoot
horse
that.
or like
Yeah.
Copy the Beyonce photo.
Have you seen it?
yeah.
You know that
Their
one?
cover.
Yeah. but like with more clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see,
I'll
we'll see
have
who's
to look up-
modeling.
Yeah, it depends on the model. If it's
Yeah.
Beyonce, no.
Right.
I need to
that's
pull it up.
No, I mean, I would think this would be a great space for like studio stuff, but you know, the mess with horses.
Oh my
Right,
gosh,
yeah.
that's something.
We'll just
That's
have
another-
someone
that's
ready with a
another thing.
bucket to catch. Their poop
That's
and-
something you don't think about. It's like
Right.
the poop.
Uh-huh.
Okay, she's pretty clothed. Oh, okay. There is one where she's not as clothed,
Yeah.
and there is one where she is clothed.
The more clothed one. Oh,
You are
shoot, let
definitely
me hit
thinking of the
re-record.
unclothed one.
Yeah, I was like,
Here's the more clothed.
oh
one.
yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that one's awesome. Okay, that's the one y'all are thinking about. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
the other one, like where it's jeweled.
This
Everything's
one.
jeweled.
That one.
Yeah.
That one.
Oh yeah.
It's literally just a necklace. That's so funny. Okay. What else have we not talked about? How do you just balance your creativity and your business operations? And I know you said you have a child.
Oh yeah, that's another balance.
Yeah,
that's a lot
so-
to balance.
Balance that out for us.
So I always get my creative ideas at night. I don't know about you, but like they always come to me when I'm supposed to go to bed.
Okay.
So I'm
It's
always
like morning for me.
morning is
Yeah.
nice. It's morning, but night for me.
Kind of,
Mm-hmm.
because like my daughter wakes up in the morning, and then when I want to be productive, because I have these thoughts, I can't be.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how I always get like my ideas, but you can get inspiration from a lot of different things. So just kind of like staying open-minded and keeping your mind like wandering, I think helps stay on the creative side. And then just balancing things like trying to keep things rolling, be on the next thing, but not like overstress yourself.
Do
So
you like time block your days at all with like
No.
your schedule? No.
I'm really bad. I am probably like the worst person to talk to about like scheduling. I am a go with the flow girl. I used to be like, I'm gonna schedule everything, and then after my kid, I'm like,
It changes you.
I'm like, no, I'm just gonna like, what's today gonna bring? I don't know. I don't know. We'll just figure it out. I mean, unless like I have a set schedule for a shoot, that's really like the only thing, and then everything else is kind of like I just maneuver around and just kind of go with the flow. I think it helps me be less stressed because if I have so much on a schedule, I'm like
Totally.
losing my mind.
For sure. No, I totally agree. Like that's kind of how we live our lives a little bit too.
I think as a creative too, like I don't know,
you just got to be free.
You have to allow yourself to not be like. That's why I could never work a 9-to-5 job because just like being at a sad place every day, like it's just it drains me.
Yeah,
you know, like I get more energy like going with the flow or like, oh, look at this creative idea and this and that, and then also just having your circle of people. Like I don't know if you have like a lot of creative friends, but I've made a lot here and we just bounce each other.
That is helpful. It is nice.
Yeah, you bounce ideas off of each other and you just like work with each other. It's just easier that way.
It's like when you grow up, I've mentioned it before, like you would make friends because you like have to go to school with them. Yeah. But now you get out of school and you're not with these people that you're like forced to be around all the time. And you're like, okay, now I have to pick people that I actually kind of like and we have same hobbies and ideas and
you kind of connect with people like you're like, oh yeah, I like this too. Yeah. You know, and it's like, oh, I had an idea for this and you're like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And then it's like, oh, we should work on this together, you know. So that's the most fun. That's the most fun.
Yeah, right. Because you from like you said how you said you didn't have the like photography meetups in Dallas.
Yeah, I don't really notice a lot.
Like when we were in Hawaii, that's like not a thing there either. And I think because in like a bigger city, there's like always like more opportunity if you're like really good to go work with maybe an agency or like a bigger company. But here there's no level up. Like you can be really good, but there's no big agency in town to work for. I mean, there, you know, like not like there is in like bigger cities where
it's not the same.
You like have to partner with people to like keep that like fire lit and
just keep making creative content, you know,
and like pushing yourself.
The content.
Yeah, it's like you gotta. If you're not getting the job, like create the job, make it happen.
Absolutely, that's another way. I think all of us here, if we know we don't have something booked, we're like, let's find a way to stay busy and to stay creative. And just
totally.
Just keep. So I like that about this community. Yeah, everybody's very supportive of each other. It feels like I have not met anybody that I've just been like, oh gosh, like
great,
you know, like that's
good.
Awesome.
Do you go to the farmers market here?
That's actually where I like
because I feel like there's tons of Western brands.
Yeah,
it's true.
I did. I was like, before I kind of like knew what I was gonna do. It's like I'm gonna go to the farmers market and just like stroll around and just see what's here. Yeah, and it was a good idea. I actually met Andrea Alonso. She's a musician here. I don't know if y'all have heard of her, but I've done a lot of like her work for like her band and stuff like that, photography wise, because she's a Western girly. So
that's cool.
So stuff like that. And I think the biggest thing about being outside of your comfort zone is like people aren't going to come to you with your ideas. You have to kind of take them to people and be bold and just take the risk. Just be like, hey, I have this idea. And like, if they respond well to it, then they do. If they don't, then you're just kind of like, okay, well, on to the next one.
Have you had people like cold shoulder you like that?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know. Maybe it's just people are like.
I think everyone's just willing and like eager to try things. There's just not a lot going on.
It has a small town vibe too. So everybody was like, yeah, you know, like we all support each other's local small businesses and stuff. So that's what I like about here.
Yeah,
very supportive.
Yeah. Yeah. No, definitely different from Hawaii and like the big city. Like it was not.
It's so competitive there. That's more competitive that there is.
It's really competitive.
It's like you're taking my client. So I'm like, there's a million people in the city. Like no one's taking your client. And,
right.
And here it's like everybody still supports each other and we still find our own clients. So no one's taking anybody's clients.
Yeah, right. There's so many.
But it's like that's
there.
It. Where it's like there's literally someone out there for everyone. There's a different price that everyone's willing to pay
grow
Yeah,
with the
you have to
community
like
and,
expand
yeah.
and try new things and always be like able to think outside the box and like on the next thing, because this world's not slowing down for nobody.
For sure.
We're just going.
And I think with what you were saying with like the community part is like you need to interact with the community, do like involve things like with the animal shelter stuff.
Yes,
And like
I mean,
just
give
any
back something that's like it. I always like, this is the best advice when I was kind of like doing some entrepreneurship early on, was like, whatever you're doing, make sure you're adding value. And so adding value doesn't mean like, you know, always getting paid. Adding value is like sharing your talents and sharing things that you know and in your creative ideas with things that could really use that support.
help someone.
Yeah. And I've seen so many dogs like get adopted, and I'm just been like, it's just the most rewarding
Even one
thing.
dog being adopted from your photo would be so fulfilling.
So exciting.
They do like dates, like puppy dates. And so I had took one. It's what sparked this idea of working with them. I took one dog on a date, and oh my gosh, like I just fell in love with her, and I just kept taking pictures of her, and I posted them all over social media, and I was like, you guys have to meet this dog.
So it was like you would just randomly assign to a dog.
Yeah, I mean, you go in and you just say, hey, I want to go, you can like even
just
email them.
the dog.
Yeah, you can take them on a walk, or you can take them to go get Pup Cup, or take them to the park. And I just...
Oh, cool. Like literally take them out of there.
Take them out, put them in your truck.
Wow.
Go.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of shelters need to start doing, because it helps so much.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a really cool idea.
Yeah. They're also, I mean, they're on top of things there. It's really a great organization to work with. So that's what kind of sparked the idea when I saw that dog get adopted a week later after posting my photos. It's like, I can help.
The purpose.
Yeah. I was like, I can help. Like, let's do some more stuff.
Yeah.
So.
That's good.
So do you have any advice for someone who's wanting to pursue their own passion or career?
Yeah, I have a lot of advice.
Okay.
I think get out of your comfort zone is like the biggest. Be bold.
Okay.
Be authentic. Be yourself. People will be attracted to you for being you.
Okay.
I've always like, you'll find your people just being yourself.
Yeah.
More so than you will being anyone else.
Yeah.
So definitely that. And then just take things day by day, one step at a time. Even if you make a small move towards something, you're going to get there eventually. As long as you're moving in the right direction, you'll get there. And just, like, be bold. Just go for it.
Take some steps.
Like that. I saw a quote the other day that was like, if 10% is all you have to give and you give 10%, then you gave 100%.
That's one of my favorites.
So
I've seen
like,
that one. That's such a good one, because like some days that's small.
It's true.
And like you're just burnt out.
Yeah.
You're just like,
today's not it.
You're touching me constantly and I'm just done. But
yeah,
you know, you're just like, I still gave 10%. I still made that post. I still scheduled this. I still did that. And it's like, okay, I'm still making progress. And we'll see where we are in a year, and we'll look back and be like, wow, remember when I thought that I wasn't going to go that far? And like, look where I am, because I made those small steps daily. So it's just all about giving yourself grace, but also allowing yourself to push further. And also another thing is, like, if you have a big idea, don't sit on it. You know, like, I feel like I used to just sit on ideas all the time and just be like, oh, that's such a good idea. But no one's going to come to me with that idea that I just had. Like, that was planted in you for a reason. So you need to go out and like actually
make something happen.
Yeah. Find the right connections, meet the right people, and just put yourself out there and just try to do it. And then take that, like, plan it like one step at a time. And then when you see the end product, you're going to be like, I did that. Like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's great advice. I'm like, we're constantly having ideas.
Yeah. So like, just don't sit on them. Just find a way to like, even like plan them out, even if it takes a year to plan it out, but definitely start planning.
Like,
we had someone else recently that I really liked what they said too. Was it like about being prepared for these things? Like, if you had these ideas, like, do these ideas, have them ready, and like be ready for that opportunity. It's not like anyone's ever gonna knock on your door and say like, now's the day, do it today. Yeah. Like, but when you see that sign that's like, all right, like, I'm jumping on it, like, be ready. And like you said, don't wait, just like do it. Because then if you wait, like,
because if I would have waited, I wouldn't have worked with the shelter like I did. Because I got the idea and I was like, okay, everybody's doing content shoots, but my niche is different than people here. Like, I'm more organization focused, more animal
very
focused,
different,
Western style focused. So I was just like, I want to do something, but everybody here does, you know, like couples or weddings and stuff like that, which I model for. But I mean, it's not my art.
100%.
So I was just like, I want to do a content shoot. And I was like, you know what? This would be a great idea. And I was like, who do I reach out to? And mom group again. I was like, reached out to somebody who had commented on some of my stuff that I posted of the dog that I went on a date with. And I was like, hey, I have a question. I messaged her. I'm like, hey, I have a question. Like, you work at the shelter. You know, who should I get in contact? This is an idea that I have.
Yeah.
And she was like,
you just made it happen.
Yeah. And she was just like, yeah, you need to talk to Michelle. And I was like, okay, perfect. So I just randomly reached out. I'm like, hey, you know, this is my idea. And I wondered if you guys were receptive to it. And if you want to work, see if, you know, if it's something we can do or continue to do and do stuff like that. So definitely have some more stuff that I want to plan coming, like holidays and stuff. So.
Well, that's really cool though. That's really important, especially with, like you said, like it's a very engagement and wedding photo heavy, but you go
which I'll
take
do
what you can out of that. Like you can still take stuff out of it.
I can definitely do those. Like if you're like boots on, cowboy hat, like you want to do it with your horses, like
let's do it.
Definitely your girl. But just, I mean, like I'm not gonna say no to anybody who wants to work with me because if they like my work, then I'll do it. Of course. But my goal is definitely Western style, Western lifestyle. So,
I think it's a smart.
Especially around here. Niche.
You want
I'm overthinking it. I think it's smart because, like you said, you could do a lot of different things, but just having like the word Western in there just puts you in a different category.
And around here, it's like a huge category.
I mean, it's such an I feel like it's a little bit unmarketed. To be honest with you, I mean,
around here,
it's not even just like here in Idaho Falls, like it's surrounding states.
Sure.
Like so.
Yeah.
And
that's a huge style.
To like continue
People
to travel and work with that. Yeah.
Because when you say like portraits versus Western portraits, you look immediately you know the difference in your head.
Yes.
So it is a
definitely
different thing.
It's definitely it's a different it's a different flair,
different posing,
different posing. Everything.
That's pretty cool.
So that's what I love. I'm like in love with it. It just like makes me light up. So.
Great.
So where can people find you to hire you or learn more about you?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Instagram. I almost said IG. IG. At Risen Wildflower.
Okay.
And then if you want to work with me, like as a model or something, you can follow me at jessirae.rw. So.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being on our podcast today. It was so great to get to know you.
Thanks for having me. It was awesome to talk with you and kind of share what I do.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know about me.
Literally, you just got here. Right?
Yeah. So.
It's hard in a new community, but it sounds like you're doing a great job at it.
You just have to go for it.
Great effort.
You just have to keep going and just keep trying and then find your people.
Yeah. It's a lot to put yourself out there. It's a lot.
That was something I struggled with and all, but I think when you move away, like something about moving.
New me.
You don't really have a choice not to.
You're like, I'm either going to just sit here or I'm not.
100%. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well, if you made it this far, like, subscribe, follow. It means so much to us.
Yep.
Anything else that we need to say?
No, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Bold
Go be bold.
Authentic.
And authentic and pursue your passions.
Yes. All that.
Thanks, Jessie.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks.
of course. Bye.
Bye.